Hey, welcome. Today's show is just a little bit of a few thoughts I have after a recent coaching session I had with a client, and a theme that's been kind of coming through my practice these past number of weeks. And I always find it interesting because the themes will often match a little bit and manifest around something that I maybe have just gone through. And so it's nice when that happens because I can resonate and understand, even if it hasn't been the same experience, I can definitely understand where a person is coming from as we set up the coaching and the scaffolding for what they need, right? My answers are not their answers, as I always say in coaching, but I am there to help them unearth and uncover what their answers are through the process. So, today was one of my more, I feel like, amazing, like really deeply, profoundly moving sessions. So, coaching is wonderful, right? I work with a client over 6 months, and some days the coaching sessions are very on the surface, practical, brass tacks. Let's move the dial forward on a couple items and check in about how it's going and what do we need to do next and how are you feeling and what does that look like and where are your stuck points. And it's just very breezy. Like we'll have some breezy days. And then there are days where the energy is so potent and so resonant and so ready that it's almost bursting at the seams before the session even starts. And that's a little bit of what it felt like today. And couldn't do those every day or every hour in a row. It would be a lot. But to have it move through was really, really powerful. And so what do I mean by that, right? What does a session like that look like with me? And so that's a little bit of what I'll talk about today. But the theme that I want to mention is that there is a lot of starting over after everything falls apart that I'm noticing. And it feels a little bit resonant with just the season that we're into as a bit of a collective, but then through so many personal changes and where people are in their lives, starting over after everything falls apart. What does that look like? How do you even do it? The tools you had before are not the same tools that you might need right now. Many of them will transfer and carry over, but do you need to use them in a different way? Is there a different framework, a different perspective to be taking as you evolve through this process? It always feels like a catalyst to enter into work if you're coming into coaching at a stage like this. My last podcast interview is a fantastic example of moving through something after everything falls apart. Though that interview was with a friend, and she is not a client of mine. But in that story, Valentina shared. If you want to go back and listen to it, it's a long one. But it's great to listen to over a series of walks. But her husband had a life-altering stroke last summer, and she has had to uproot their life from Spain to Oregon and then to Mexico in as many months since last July. And she really walked us through what it looks like for her to be starting over after everything falls apart. And then with the folks that I am working with, there are huge, huge transitions that they are going through. Some have been affected by what's happening globally. Some are really affected by matters in their personal lives that have sort of blown up what they knew to be true, and they're picking up the pieces and restarting from scratch and feeling, and I want to say this because this is something that can come up, feeling like they have failed in some way, feeling like they should know better. Because the beginning of these conversations sound like self blame and kind of a regret of, oh, I should be somewhere else than this place right now. And if you are feeling that way, I want to tell you it is not your fault. We get hit by a train wreck of energy, or something happens in our life and things completely implode or explode or shatter. Our nervous systems are going to go into either a fight or flight or a complete shutdown, no matter what we think we should be doing through those moments. And it's doing that to honor and protect our bodies and our present in this time, how we're reacting. It's when they get kind of exacerbated and stuck in that sympathetic fight or flight or in that dorsal shutdown that we know it's okay to start to ask for support and help. Not even necessarily to have all of the answers. Because if you've never been through what just happened, why would you expect yourself to know how to move forward from that place? Yes, you can get books. Yes, you can talk to friends. Yes, you can talk to family. And depending on kind of like where you're at and the experiences of those people are, you can really find that the support that you need. And sometimes they're not going to have that way of seeing and holding the space that you need without giving advice about what they would do, right? They're not you. They didn't go through this. They can offer insight and support, but if they start to tell you what to do or start to give you advice on how you should be, that's someone operating from their framework for themselves, not having had the visceral experience of what you have lived through. And you need to have that space to figure out what that is and a container for it. Um, yeah. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for needing to ask for help. Don't blame yourself for not having all of the answers right then in that moment. Because if you are in shutdown, if you are in fight or flight, it's very hard to get to a place of creative and expansive thinking for what can help you to sort of know how to move forward. I will note on the video tends to focus in and out. And so I'm not sure how to fix that. And so I will work on that for the next video, but bear with the lens coming in and out of focus. I apologize. What else to say about coming into coaching? So you're not alone. I'm seeing it in a lot of people right now, starting over after everything falls apart. And so what would be some of the things, even if you're never going to talk with me personally, if you want to set up just for right now, just a bit of a safety zone for yourself. What are some of the things I could share that you could try, right? So I don't want to border into saying that I'm giving you advice that do these things will always work. What I want to say is if you are at this rebuilding point, you're at a crux of your life, something major has just altered. Here are a few things you could consider. Nervous system supports, body support, because the first thing that you're going to have to do, no matter where you're at in the situation, is to let your body know it's safe. Because there's mentally thinking, I'm safe, and then there's physically feeling, I'm safe. And you may not be feeling safe right now. Whatever changes just occurred, they may not be life-threatening, but they may be completely destabilizing. So you have to start to send signs and signals of warmth and welcome to your own body. And it could be through simple phrases like, I am safe in myself in this moment. Or it could be like, right now, my immediate needs for breathing are met. I can breathe. If you can breathe, you can be present. So just focus on the gift of what you have right now, even if it is as presently focused and as small as the breath. And if you're watching me, you'll see that I put my hands to my chest to do this, just sending some signaling to the ventral vagal part of my nervous system up here around the heart. This part of us that co-regulates, the part of us that wants to share and to connect, we can just give it a bit of a hug through placing our hands in this area as we breathe in and remind ourselves that we always have our breath. And if I have the breath, I can be home in myself. And I know you're thinking, Ellen, the changes that have happened in my life are so extreme. My thoughts are going to quickly take over this focus on my breath, and I'm going to be panicked again because I don't know where the next paycheck is coming from. I don't know how to pay this medical bill. I don't know. Well, I will tell you, there's no problem solving from panic. There's no problem solving from anxiety. It's very easy to say. And so I will just invite you to know that answers and next steps lie within my ability to take deep and slow breaths to calm the system down. Because when you start to send signs of warmth and welcome to yourself, despite what is happening out there, your body starts to be able to integrate and turn on its higher ordered thinking systems to where the tunnel vision of fear, which is very limited on just the problem, opens up into a wider and more expansive perspective of possibilities. Oh, maybe I could call so and so. Or, oh, I did see that there was an informational interview here. I forgot that I know somebody who works there. Maybe I can go connect. And you start to take small steps in the directions of solutions until one of them starts to stick. And anytime you start to get pulled out of yourself into that anxiety, I'm starting over. I should know more by now. I'm in my mid 40s. I'm in my mid 50s. How come I'm not farther along than I thought I would be, should be, could be? Everyone else is, right? There's so many chatterboxes that'll run through our minds about expectations and judgment and shame that are not your truth. So, what do I mean by that? Your truth should always feel good to you in here. When you hear a truth about yourself, your body lights up. And that can be a really hard thing if there are really long-term, old, repetitive patterns that especially emerged maybe in the environments that we grew up in that create negative self-talk patterns. And so once you start to work on the breath, the next thing you can start to work on is the scripts that run through the mind. There needs to be a boundary on what permissions you give to yourself to talk about yourself. The energy we create ourselves is the energy we're able to use in the world. And so if I'm continuously putting myself down, oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I'm a fake. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, what if someone thinks I'm a charlatan? If I let that win in my mind, I shrink and I feel very small and I have to hide. If I don't, and I honor who I am inside, and I know that I am a helper, that I am a healer, that I am a guide, and that I am skilled in the tools that I have and that I can share, I can breathe easier. And I'm not going to say that I never have negative self-talk. I absolutely still have loops of negative self-talk that will go through my mind, but I have a multi-year practice of mindfulness that helps me catch it and to say, oh, you are not my thought. You are an energetic conditioning that I received, that I put my voice on, and I let run through my mind rent free for many years. It is time to go. And I'm very aware of myself when I can see that the thoughts that running are not really me. So for the listeners on the podcast, I am putting my hands into sort of a flat form in front of me. And two hands are meeting at this one level, but one hand moves above because there's a me who's watching the me below, with my hands being representatives of the two parts of myself, right? So, like my higher self and my regular egoic self, let's put it that way. And with meditation and mindfulness practice, or just even catching an awareness that self talk that's negative is ego mind, judgment, shame, invalidation, all those hard things. But if you can notice that you've noticed doing it, you've just noticed your higher self seeing. You've stepped momentarily into who you really are. Oh, I'm being really hard on myself. What's the truth of myself? I am light. I am creativity. I am innocent. Going back even to like the earliest moments of our birth, I am innocent. That innocence still lives through me, no matter what I've done or how I've experienced life. It's all a part of the experience and the richness of me uncovering who I really am. when I feel really good, when I feel joy, when I feel expansive. So it's hard to just do that on a dime, right? I'm talking about some concepts that have taken me years of practice, mindfulness meditation, to slow down the negative thought train, to slow down the energy of what wants to run me versus me running my own energy and my own self all the time, or as much time as is possible. I won't say it's all the time. Um, and that comes from a simple practice of noticing thoughts. You've probably done a practice like this at some point if you've experimented in mindfulness, but you can just sit with me right now if you'd like to do a little experiment. Put 2 feet flat on the floor. So if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're sitting at your desk or you're able to sit down while you listen, go ahead and have a seat. Place your feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And just feel yourself settle first into the space that you're in. You might notice that part of you is still walking across the room, even though you sat down. So just allow your energy to catch up to your body and your body to catch up to your energy and to be in one spot. And say hello to the floor. Wiggle your toes, press your feet down into the ground, wiggle your seat. Appreciate that there's a surface to hold you up while you have a seat. You are supported always by the earth and by gravity. How nice of it. And take 2 deep breaths. And just start to notice the sensation of air on your skin. You may notice the breath coming in and out of the nose. You may be sitting near a vent and notice a breeze across your face. You may have a sleeveless shirt on and feel the tingling sensation of air in the room, just at a different temperature than your arms. Start to shift your attention to the sensation of clothes on your skin. Can you feel your shirt? Can you feel your pant legs or your shorts, the skirt of a dress? Do you want to take your shoes off now if you kept them on so you can spread your feet out? Just being present and noticing that all you are right now is a presence, noticing sensation on skin. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way. There's no should about it. It's just an observational awareness, a witness consciousness. And it might be hard the first time around. You may still have thoughts starting to go through your mind. Ellen, this is too slow. Ellen, this is not so easy for me. Ellen, I'm really fidgety. Ellen, I can't keep my eyes closed. All of that is fine because eventually you're going to notice that that's also what's happening. Don't punish yourself. Don't blame yourself. Oh, I'm not good at this. I can't do mindfulness. Drop the negative language. Notice that you just noticed that you were antsy. Notice that your energy is feeling jumpy. Notice that you're observing what's moving through you. And that is exactly the point. So, those are two really granular approaches to some of the work that I do with my clients over a 6 month period of time. But I would offer those as tools or practices to try if you are ever feeling unmoored or out of control or pulled in multiple directions without a compass of your own to be doing the directing. Incorporating and trying some of those practices can really help relieve the nervous system, calm the body, open the mind for more expansive thinking and allow you to identify solutions and answers from within yourself and your environment and situation without having to go talk to the peanut gallery over there. What should I do? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? All of them are going to think about things to do from their point of view, which has nothing to do with you. They might care about you and might love you. They might know you really, really, really well, but they're not you. And having your own answers is going to feel the most rooted, anchored, and authentic, particularly if you're making a large transition. If you have a large transition in life that you're just emerging from or going through. Gosh, if you're intentionally like, you're about to head into it and you're going to go through a big transition, build in these practices now, these body supports that turn into energetic supports that, if you wanted to, can turn into spiritual supports, intuitive supports. They will help to guide you as you navigate forward from here. And because they're within you and they're yours, they're always available, they're always present, and they will not let you down. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you think. If you're listening, leave a comment, rate the show. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.